Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 85. Andrew Eisen here, along with E. Zachary Knight. Hello,
Hello,
Zachary.
Andrew. Hello, everybody.
Yep,
You got my
which
nice little
includes
halo
Matthew and
behind me.
Scotty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, hope
Got a
everyone
new
is,
lamp, and it's pretty bright. But
yeah, just move your head there. There you go. Okay.
right there. Tilt my screen down a bit.
Yeah.
Scoop my butt over. There we go. That's good. So how's your week been?
Work is work.
Yeah.
There are some days when I just don't have time to play Monster Hunter, and those,
Oh, how horrible.
yes, it distresses me greatly. Although I will admit, I did the second encounter with Zora Magdaros, the volcano-sized monster, and
Yeah.
you fight it halfway through the game, and then you fight it at the end of low rank, which isn't really the end of the game, it doesn't seem. It's just
Yeah.
the end of chapter one, maybe. Um, and last week, I was talking about the Zora Magdaros fight and that it was kind of crap. And I posted that video, and if you've seen it, I wasn't really impressed with the Zora Magdaros fight.
Yeah.
I thought it was not well explained and not very fun, period.
Yeah.
So not knowing what the quest really was, I recorded the second Zora Magdaros fight, and it turned out that I was out of space on my hard drive, so it stopped recording after about 3 minutes, which didn't even get through the opening cutscene, which is okay
Yeah.
because I was really bitter throughout the entire thing. It, it would not have been a pleasant video because the Zora Magdaros fight is terrible. Utterly, utterly, fantastically terrible. I don't know what Capcom was thinking. I've been thinking about it a bit, and this may be the worst boss fight in the history of boss fights,
Yeah.
which is a bold claim, I know. But my God, my hair is sticking up. Ugh, damn cowlicks. Um, but it is so boring. Is really because it feels like there's no way to actually lose. It's very similar to the first fight,
Yeah.
where you have to jump on. You don't do a
You,
shelling round. You
okay,
just
so you don't.
you find the hitching post and you uh, zoom onto Zora Magdaros's back. And well, now I know what a magma core is and where it is, so I can go up and smack it. And at some point, they yell at you that Nergigante has. You got to drive him off. Well, I didn't know where he was. I was busy smacking a magma core.
Yeah.
And aha, we did it. Nergigante's retreating. I'm like, he is? Okay.
Okay.
So I guess it wasn't really that important now, was it? And then I'm smacking a magnum core and it just suddenly teleports me somewhere else. And occasionally it does that. It'll like, I don't know if I died or it just doesn't like where I am. Maybe I'm playing it totally, totally wrong.
Yeah.
So after you're done smacking the magma cores, you end up on a barrier with a bunch of cannons on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you fire the cannons at Zora Magdaros, and they're like, use the Dragonator. I'm like, the what? What's a Dragonator? Where is it? How do I use it? Now, to be fair, there was a cutscene which showed the Dragonator. It's a big spike on the front of the boat. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's a big spike. Where's the boat? I'm up on a scaffold.
Yeah.
I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, there it is, way down there. How do I get down there? There's stairs. Is there an elevator? Do I jump? And I found a platform. Like I'm trying to run off the edge, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Turns out there's a prompt you have to hit, and I just didn't see the prompt the first time. But I get down to the boat and I'm wandering around the boat looking for, I'm like, how do I activate it? There's a switch up towards the front of the boat. Oh, But anyway,
Yeah.
once when you're on the barricade, you just load cannons, and it's boring.
Yeah.
Zora Magdaros just kind of stands there and doesn't attack at
Yeah.
all. Just kind
Yeah.
of walks into the barrier. It's boring. It is so unbelievably boring. It feels like a 20-minute cutscene. That
Yeah. Well, I
uh,
watched the first video that you posted of it, and yeah, it was a pretty underwhelming fight for something Godzilla sized. You would expect um, a little more fight from it, a little more damage, and having to dodge and all kinds of stuff to get out of the way. But no, it's just run back and forth between a pile of cannonballs and a cannon
yeah.
and that's really it. And yeah, the fact that it nothing is explained to you, because like you talked about it last week, but just in that video, it told you to I don't know what exactly he basically had to harpoon the thing. And
Yeah, it says use the binders. I'm like, the what? What are
yeah,
they?
it
How
doesn't
do they
explain
work?
that. Yeah. But
I'm just wandering around. Where are they? I'm wandering around, and finally I walk over something, and the prompt says binder shot. I'm like, oh, okay. So I
yeah.
load it. I'm like, I guess it goes into here. Yeah, okay. And I fire, and it fires the ropes at him, and he holds still. And it's like,
He
what's
was
the?
already
He
holding
was already
still.
pretty still. I don't get what the point of binding him is.
Yeah.
Now compare this to the Jen Moran fight in 3, Try and 3 Ultimate.
Yeah.
You're on a sail barge that surfs through the sand. Jen Moran's a big whale monster, and you're firing cannons and ballista at it, and I think you shoot the binder at it to haul it over alongside, so then you jump on it and start smacking it in the weak points, and then you try
Yeah.
and jump off before he bucks you off and you go flying off into the sand. And then he does attack the ship, and you have to brace yourself. There's a Dragonator up front
Yeah.
uh, that when he goes in front, you have to time it to hit him with that. And then the second phase is the ship is kind of crashed, and he's walking towards you, and you're firing cannons or running up and smacking him with your sword, and you can still use the Dragonator. And it's a much more active fight. And
Yeah.
to be clear, that game didn't explain the fight either. It was something you just kind of had to figure out what to do, which I think is annoying. But
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World does make a concerted effort to explain most of the basic mechanics of what you're doing. It's, as I've said, it can be very obtuse in a lot of places. Um, but wow, the Zora Magdaros fight just takes it to another level of just being completely annoying.
Yeah. I could imagine. And it's just any game that doesn't explain what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. It's really annoying. I don't know. It drives me nuts.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm not expecting games to handhold you throughout the whole thing, but
No, yeah, I
yeah,
don't need it
just
to tell me, what the weak point of the monster is. It's probably the head. I'll figure it out. Yeah,
yeah.
I
But
don't
if
need
they're
it to
going to
say,
expect you to use like
dodge the
20
tail.
different
Yeah,
20 different weapons against a monster, they should at least explain beforehand what each of the weapons are.
that's the
Or
thing is you at no point in the game prior to this fight ever use a cannon or ballista or dragonator or
yeah,
binding thing. They are introduced in that fight while you're fighting or while you're standing there running around. Actually, the most those little wing drakes, those little
yeah,
pterodactyl things, those attack more than Zora Magdaros does.
yeah.
There's a health meter for your barrier in the upper right of the screen, and
Hmm.
it never goes down very much. One of these days, maybe I'll just go back into that fight and just stand there and see if it's even possible to lose. Just go relax at the base camp and hang out and see if they take care of Zora Magdaros on their own. But yeah,
Yeah, that'd be funny to
you know. But so there's a
be
bad
like
boss fight.
the Luigi and uh, Mario Party, where he just stands there and everybody else just kind of wanders off the edge of
Oh
the
yeah,
cliff. And, yeah.
Luigi wins by doing nothing.
Hmm.
Um, does that make the game bad? No. It's just got a bad boss fight. There's plenty of
Yeah.
boss fights in this game, and they're all great, except that one. But this
Yeah.
one's phenomenally
I've
bad.
watched a few of your other videos, and those other fights, the other monsters, they all seem pretty interesting.
Yeah.
They look fun, and you have to do some chasing, which is good. I think that's a pretty good feature. And you have to, they're each monster has a certain quirk or trick that you have to figure out in order to win, and I think that makes it a lot of fun. But yeah, that Zora Magnaros thing just doesn't really
I
make any
appreciate what
sense.
Capcom was trying to do. It was trying to make an event, something unique, something different with this
Yeah.
monster. They just forgot to make it fun. You know, I mean, even when you figure out what everything is and where it is and how to use it, the fight is boring. I've actually fought Zora
Yeah.
Magdaros a couple of times just to grind for some materials to build a sword. Uh, and it's just a really boring fight.
I think something that would make it a little bit better is some kind of minion to get in your way. Have you seen the Cloverfield movie, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in that one, you have Cloverfield, the giant
Oh
monster,
yeah,
but then you've
the
got these
little
little
ones. Yeah.
fleas that fall off of them and wreak havoc throughout the thing. And it's like something like that. You're attacking the magma core, and it just kind of sits there.
Yeah, you're
Attack.
fighting a
It's like,
rock
yeah, it's like
that
what's
occasionally
going on?
erupts in lava.
It would be neat if some little rock monsters would pop out every now and then to get in your way, and you
Well,
have to
I
clear
guess
that
that's the
out.
idea of Nergigante showing up every time.
Yeah, but if he's like off
But
somewhere
yeah,
else,
I've fought Zora Magdaros like 4 times now. I have never seen Nergigante. I've seen him leave, but I've never actually fought him
what
because
was that?
it doesn't
Is that
matter.
the spiky monster that showed up
Yeah,
in your
in
first
the
video?
first encounter, you do
Yeah,
actually fight him for like 1 minute before a
yeah.
cutscene happens. In the final encounter, or the second encounter at least, I'm busy. Zora Magdaros has appeared. I'm like, great, where? Because I'm at the ass end of Zora Magdaros smacking a magma core. By the time I get up to where I guess it's up on the head or the back or something, by the time I get up there, Nergigante's taken off.
Yeah.
So, oh, but I mean, that's kind of like saying, well, one of the Colossi in Shadows of the Colossus sucks, so the game sucks. No, it's just got it's got one bad fight in it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
tomorrow's monster is really cool. I like this
okay.
one. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
I haven't watched any of your videos from this week, unfortunately, but yeah, I wanted to watch a few of them. But
Kind of surprised there aren't ads on that fight. In MMOs that do fights like that, ads spawn on a regular interval. That sounds terrible. Not only are there
yeah,
terrible fights, but you have to watch ads too.
that's pretty terrible. I
Yeah.
don't know. Um,
Matthew also
yeah,
says, "Did we? The big thing with the Evo fighting game tournament is Marvel versus Capcom Infinite is not going to be there, which
well,
doesn't really surprise me
apparently
because
the
nobody
game's
likes
dead.
it."
Yeah, it's like nobody likes it. Marvel versus Capcom 3 wasn't the best of the franchise either. and it's just they've all seemed to have gone downhill. It's like, Marvel versus Capcom 2 was the um What?
Ads refer to enemies?
Huh?
Well, why did you call them ads then?
I don't know. But yeah, I don't get that.
Oh,
Okay,
ADD as in like an abbreviation for additional enemies, just ads? Is that
I don't
slang?
know.
Okay.
Yeah, it must be some MMO slang. Neither of us ever play
Well, I
MMOs, so
don't
we
play
don't know.
MMOs because I hate MMOs, which is
Yeah,
why I never bothered with Dragon Quest 11 and why I didn't really care for Dragon Quest 10
yeah.
and didn't
10
really
was the
care
MMO.
didn't really care for 9 because it was very MMO-ish.
Yeah, and then Final Fantasy 11 and 14. I still don't understand why Square Enix insists on putting MMOs into the numbered lineup of their RPGs. It's
There's enough Final Fantasies they can make a few MMOs. I just really don't like
well, I
MMOs.
don't mind the MMOs being there. It's just them being in the numbered
Oh,
system.
eh,
Yeah, it's just, it's like I want to collect all the Final Fantasy games and I want to play them, but I don't want to play the MMOs, but they're part of the Final Fantasy lineup, and it's just like, ugh. But
yeah.
yeah, but going back to Marvel versus Capcom,
Hmm.
yeah, they have really gone downhill since number two. One was good, two was great, and then three was okay, and apparently Infinite's just kind of there, and nobody likes it. So it's again, it's not surprising that Evo is ignoring it in its fighting lineup.
Yeah. So, all right. Our first topic for the night is about Galgun 2, which you might think is the second game in the series. No, no, it's the fourth.
It's the fourth.
Yeah, Galgun was the first one. Then there was Galgun Second Pence. Let me make sure I have that name right. Double Pence, yes.
Double pence.
Galgun Double Pence. And then there was Galgun VR, which I just kind of figured would be a spin-off and wouldn't count, but
Yeah.
from those I've talked to and what I've read, it apparently continues the story, so it's actually the third game. So Galgun 2 is actually part
Interesting.
4. Um, it's
So they're are they going off of are they following a Microsoft numbering system or something?
yeah, maybe. And this game, so far as I can tell, it's a first-person. It's a light gun shooter, right?
Yeah.
Only you're some guy in high school, and all the girls are in love with you, so you have to shoot them. But it's not violent. All the girls are like, yay, it's the guy we all love, and run at you and throw hearts at you and try to confess their love with, little letters and stuff. And you have to shoot them with your love gun or something, which I'm not, that sounds counterproductive to me, but
Yeah.
apparently that just overloads their love and makes them faint, or I don't know. But basically, you have over amorous girls charging you, and you have to shoot them with your non-lethal gun to make them go away. And sometimes their clothes burst off because that's the kind of game it is.
Yeah.
Um, it's one of those games where it's got such an absurd premise that it's one of those absurd premises like, yeah, I want to play this because it's just so silly. Then I watch footage of it. I'm like, no, it just looks boring. I've seen
Hmm.
footage of several of the games, and it's just really slow and boring.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe why it's slow. I think is probably the best way to describe it. So anyway, the fourth game, part two, is getting a worldwide release. Except in Germany, because the ratings board in Germany has decided once again to not do its job and refuse to classify uh, Galgun 2.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about this in quite a while, but as I've long maintained, if you're a ratings board, your job is to rate
Great
things.
game. Yeah.
If you refuse classification, you're not doing your job. You have failed.
Yeah.
Now, if whatever you rate, movies, games, books, music, whatever, if something comes in that you don't have a strong enough rating for, then you add new descriptors or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
you
or
don't refuse to classify something because that means rate the damn thing and let people decide for themselves whether they want to consume it. That is how it should work.
Mhm.
Now, the weird thing is the previous game, the actual Part 2, Galgun Double Pence, uh, was rated by the USK and Germany. And it got a 16. It didn't even get an 18. It got a 16. So,
Interesting.
and the game isn't out. I haven't played it, but I'm like, is the fourth game, is Galgun 2 so far and away beyond the pale that was Galgun Double Pence that we double pence we could rate a 16, but Galgun 2, whoa, we're not even going to classify that one. I went to the USK's website
Hmm.
and looked up Galgun Double Pence. It's got a 16 certificate, and that's about all it says, other than the publisher and the language and the USK rating number. So
Yeah.
I went to the ESRB to look at their rating summary for Double Pence.
Yeah.
Here's what it says. And remember, this is a description of the game that the USK put a 16 on. It's actually rated M in North America. This is an adventure game in which players assume the role of a young boy named Hodai, who has been shot by Cupid and must find his true love. Players move through levels, fend off female characters, and help several heroines through interactive scenes. These interactive scenes often depict female characters wearing revealing outfits. Example, lingerie. In sexually suggestive positions, example, stuck in windows, arched on the ground, restrained by a tentacle monster. I love how that's just casually dropped in as an example. That's great.
Yeah.
Players can activate a Doki Doki mode in which a 360-degree view of female characters is depicted. Players attempt to bring characters clothed into a state of euphoria by using a cursor to click on various body parts. Example, face, legs, chest. Sexual moaning sounds can sometimes be heard. I wonder if that's an indicator of you doing something right. The dialogue also contains sexual innuendo and provocative material. Example, are you sure you can pull out in time? Can you show me your boobs? You're doing it so hard. I think I'm about to. And finally, I'll rip your clothes off lustfully. I love that qualifier. I will rip your clothes off lustfully. So that got a 16. That game, which the SRB described like that, got a 16 in Germany. But the sequel to that game is refused classification. P
Yeah.
what's its name? P Cube, the publisher, had the following to say. We've received word that Galgun 2 has been refused classification in Germany. We'll always try to get games through classification, regardless of the possibility of it being denied, as we feel everyone should have the right and access to play the games they want to play. It is our opinion that disliking the content in a piece of entertainment or art, and voicing that dislike, is totally fine and even encouraged. But denying that work the right to exist in a market based on personal opinions and prejudices is something we strongly disagree with. Unfortunately, our appeal against this decision has been unsuccessful. Given that Galgun Double Pence did receive classification in Germany, we're doubly disappointed that we cannot bring the highly anticipated title to our fans in Germany. However, we will have to accept and respect the decision of the US.
Yeah.
So, what the hell, Germany?
Yeah.
What, are there zombies
and
in it or
it's
something?
yeah, and it's not like this lack of a rating is going to stop those who want the game from getting it, because
You can still.
there's always importing it from a neighboring country that also has the German language track in it, and there's also piracy for those who don't feel like paying for something that they can't get at their local retailer.
Well,
Or
if I can't buy it legally, I guess I'll buy it some other way.
yeah, and it's just it doesn't make any sense. And and we went through this whole ordeal for years. With the BBFC. Uh, is that right? In Great Britain,
Hmm.
and then Australia was complete lack of an R18 rating for video games for years on end, and then finally they they decided to give one after they gave the unspoken masses two opportunities to speak up against the rating. But
Yeah. Lax Rest, do they not have an equivalent AO rating? They do,
it's
they have an
yeah,
18 rating.
yeah, they have an 18 rating.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't have a rating that they could use. It's just that they refuse to use it.
Yes, they could
And
have given it probably a 16 would be appropriate for this game. Maybe not. Maybe
yeah, an
maybe
18.
there's
Yeah,
explicit depictions of sex in this game. I seriously doubt it. But if there is, then you give it an 18 and call it a day. You do not refuse classification. That
yeah,
means you have failed. You have failed
exactly.
all of Germany's gamers. Shame on you, USK. Shame on you. Even Australia rated this game.
Yeah, and
Step up your
Australia has been
game, Germany.
the biggest pain in the butt in recent years.
They can be.
Um, yeah,
Anyway, Galgun again is a game that I want to try it because I love the goofy ass concept, but it looks really bad. If you watch gameplay, it just looks boring. Hello, Chaos. So, oh well. Uh, but anyone in Germany who
yeah,
wants to play it, I'm sure they'll find a way.
yeah. They'll find it. It's not nothing stopping them. Yeah,
I like it when people comment on videos I made like 2 years ago with something really snarky. Oh, you're saying that? That's so sad. I'm like, is it more sad than commenting on something I did like 2 years ago? I rem- just as a quick aside, I'm looking at my comments, and I did a video almost 2 years ago about the new Jumanji movie. The
yeah,
first cast photo came out, and people looked at Karen Gillan's outfit, which is a shorts and a crop top, and they're like,
yeah,
"Yeah, of course." And she went on record and said, "No, no, no, no." The Rock went on record and said, "They're the everyone is cool. The costumes are there's a story reason for all the costumes. Just hang on to your britches." And Karen Gillan herself said, "There's a reason I'm wearing child-sized clothes." So I made a video a couple of years ago talking about that comment.
yeah,
Mainly, her clothing is not child size; it's adult size. It's just skimpy. Yeah. So I
yeah,
basically I was just the video is spitballing ideas, story ideas that might explain why she's dressed the way she is. Um, and it making fun of the child size clothes thing as that doesn't make any sense because those aren't child size clothes. But what
yeah.
she meant was this, or blah 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 blah. And then someone wrote a comment 2 years later, so a couple days ago. It says something. Well, actually, let me pull it up real quick
Yeah.
because it's really a lovely comment, unless it got deleted. This is sad, ellipses. A grown ass man talking about a female's outfit by himself, ellipses, alone.
That's funny.
Uh,
Makes no sense, but yeah.
so, would it have been less sad or not sad at all if I had a second person in the video with me talking about it? Is it just that
Yeah.
I'm doing the video by myself? I do all my videos by myself for the vast majority of them are
Yeah.
solo. I live alone. It's a solo act. So occasionally I have my sister over, but it's
Yeah.
just weird. And
It is. Yeah.
I asked him. I said, "Sad how?" Never responded. So
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I wonder if he even watched the video or just assumed it was a video maybe being all pearl clutchy about, oh, she's got a bare midriff, and that's not appropriate. Think of the children. Maybe he assumed it was something like that, and
Maybe.
that's what he was calling sad. It's like the video is only 4 minutes long. You know, if it was a 3 hour thing, then you ignore it. But if it's 4 minutes, you just watch it and see what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, Scotty says, "Do you feel the same way about Omega Labyrinth Z being banned in Australia?"
I'm not
Yes.
aware of Omega Labyrinth Z, but yeah, any game
Omega
that doesn't
Labyrinth,
receive a rating from
yeah,
its
it,
respective ratings board
it
is
was refused
being
classification.
disturbed.
It should not be refused classification. It should be classified appropriately, so that
Yeah.
people look at the rating and or the classification and say, "Oh, this is the kind of game it is. I'm not into that, so I'm not going to buy it. Thanks, rating system. You have duly informed me so that I can make an intelligent decision as a consumer for me and maybe my children." But when you refuse classification, you are telling people you're not smart enough to decide for yourself what you want to play. Only we can do that. You may think you want to play this game, but we know better than you.
Yeah.
You're stupid. So we're not going to allow you to make the mistake of playing this game because we know you're too stupid to think for yourself. So yeah, I have the same opinion. You do not ever, and if you
Yeah.
can think of some extenuating circumstances, let me know. But you do not. Well, I suppose if it's uh, hate speech or incitement to riot or basically speech that targeted violence or something like that, but
I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm thinking of,
I mean,
of
if it's
a
a game that
Holocaust game
publishes
where you're
if it's a
playing a
game that
Nazi
publishes my
soldier.
address and says go here and kill Andrew, yeah, that's something that should not be put on market. Yeah, Laxter says, yeah, he'll respond in 2 years. Chaos says it's one of those games that seems so absurd I have to have it. Yeah, I know. I feel the same way, but every time I watch gameplay, I'm like, yeah, that just looks bad. Doesn't look fun. I love the
Yeah.
idea. I love how stupid it is, but it doesn't look actually fun to play. Oh well. So moving on. What's next? So there's a Harley Quinn animated series. There's been one piece of key art released. No idea if it's actually going to be representative of the show itself, but it's an attractive piece of art.
Yeah.
If anyone's wondering, Harley Quinn is yeah, mostly her Suicide Squad outfit, basically the shorts and not a t-shirt. She's got kind of a
Yeah, she's got kind of
top.
that
I don't know.
crop top belly shirt or whatever it is that
Yeah.
she had going on. Yeah, it's well, yeah, it's kind of like a tank top vest thing. It's
Yeah.
I believe it's the outfit that she wears in the Injustice games and
Yeah, I think that's
stuff.
one of her outfits.
Yeah. So I think that's like the primary outfit, like her normal outfit
Mhm.
in the Injustice series, and I think that's kind of what
And she has the
kind
double
of what she wears
pigtails
in the
with the
new
dyed
50.
tips. Yeah.
Yeah, in the new 52, I think that's what they decided to go with instead of the Harlequin outfit that she wore in the animated series,
Yeah.
which I
So
think is the best
yeah.
costume of hers.
So yeah, the Jester outfit.
Yeah.
So they released a series of character breakdowns. Um, and I thought we'd go over these because we don't know much about the show, but the character breakdowns does paint an idea of what the show might be like. And the basic premise is Harley Quinn has broken things off with the Joker and is going to establish herself as the top crime kingpin of Gotham City, and the Joker's going to try and sabotage her efforts. Okay,
Of course. Yeah.
so I'm not sure if it's going to be like dark or if it's going to be R rated or I don't know, but here are some of the character
No.
descriptions. The Joker, age 40, equal parts homicidal and charismatic. He's been Harley's longtime awful boyfriend, but when Harley breaks up with him, she vows to take his cherished #1 spot on the most wanted list. The Joker thinks of Harley as his creation, and as she grows in power, does everything he can to stop her. So it's the Joker, and that's the premise of the show. Cool.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy,
Yeah.
late 20s. I I kind of want the characters to be older than that because they've been around so long.
Hmm.
You know,
Well, it just sounds like Harley's going to be in her late 20s as well.
yeah.
Because if you look back at it, Harley, well, the Joker had been around for quite a while before Harley became Harley Quinn. She was Harley
Mhm.
Quinzel for a while. So,
Yeah.
straight out of in the animated series, she was basically straight out of college. She got her PhD and her doctorate, and got her first job at Arkham Asylum, and that's where so yeah, she was pretty young when she got her head uh, shrunk by the Joker, I guess.
See, I always figured she
Brainwashed,
was
but
at that point she would have been late 20s at youngest.
yeah, and yeah, so late 20s, yeah, because getting your doctorate would take about 8 years.
So she'd be, I would think she'd be mid 30s at some point. Although there isn't a character description for Harley, I have no idea
Yeah,
how old she is. Anyway, so Poison Ivy, sarcastic and incredibly smart. Ivy is Harley's best friend and new and now roommate. Very much a loner, she prefers plants over people. Ivy is sometimes the voice of reason, but always a true friend to Harley. Ivy soon becomes her reluctant partner in crime. Okay. Now here's where we get into some interesting stuff. Cy Borgman, get it? Cyborg. Cy Borgman is in his 90s. Once upon a time, Cy used to be a suave super spy. Now in his 90s, he's a wheelchair user with most of his body replaced by creaky 50s era bionic parts. Crotchety, difficult, and longs to become relevant again. He's also Harley and Ivy's landlord, and insists they take him on their heist so he can get back into the action, or else he won't repair the plumbing. Now that but as I was reading this, I was reading the Joker. I'm like, okay, and Ivy. I'm like, okay, and I got to this. I'm like, ooh, that sounds really fun. An old crotchety
yeah,
cyborg with old, out of date parts who really wants to go on Harley's adventures, or he's not going to turn on their water heater.
yeah,
That's pretty great.
yeah.
Um,
It's an interesting character. I'm sure he's got some kind of you know, um, history in the actual DC universe, but this is
I've
the first
never
I've
heard of the
heard of
character,
this
so
guy. Yeah,
I do like the name of Cy Borgman.
yeah,
Next is Dr. Psycho, mid 40s, an angry misogynist dwarf with telekinesis. You know, it could stop right there. That's pretty awesome. An angry
yeah,
misogynist dwarf with telekinesis. He was a major villain until the incident 10 years ago, when in the midst of a losing battle against Wonder Woman, he became frustrated and called her the C word in front of hundreds of camera phones. Even the other villains were disgusted. Disgraced, the only one who'll have him is Harley, a woman. He can't stand it, but he'll do anything to get back in the villain community. That is hilarious. He's fighting Wonder Woman. He calls her a slur, and everyone. I can just, I can just see this pitched battle between him and Wonder Woman. There's probably all kinds of news media and other heroes and villains around. Let's rip with the C word and just quiet.
yeah,
Everyone's staring at him. He's like, and he never lives it down. Oh, that's so great. I love that.
yeah,
That is great. The interesting thing about this, though, is this is where I get into the ages. So this was 10 years ago where he was fighting with Wonder Woman. So I guess
yeah,
Pam Isley was a teenager and wasn't Poison Ivy at the time.
yeah,
I don't know how the ages match up here, but whatever. Let's see. That was Dr. Psycho. Malice Wunderbar. Early 20s, pretty but over it. She's an alien but looks human, and her family is crazy rich and powerful. She's interning with Harley's gang for college credit. I have no idea how that would even work. The only thing she cares about is her demonic shadow cat named Censor, that she carries around in her designer purse. It's a friend and fashion item, and it destroys everything it sees. She has an evil cat in her bag. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see. King Shark, 30. His lower half is human, but his upper half is the body of a great white shark. Even though he looks incredibly fierce, he's a gentle soul who just wants to be normal. That is, until he smells blood. And then he goes into a frenzy and literally eats everyone around him, leaving death and carnage everywhere. Then feels bad about it.
Uh,
I
King
love.
Shark is a great character. There's a comic
Now there
page
is a
that
King
that
Shark, so
yeah,
that's a
there's a
Flash
comic
villain,
page
isn't it?
that's circulating around about King Shark, and it's basically King Shark is just running through the woods or something like that, and it's just three panels of him running, and in each panel it's I'm a shark, I'm a shark, I'm a shark, and the next panel is I'm a shark, I'm a shark, I'm a shark, and then the next panel is I'm a shark, I'm a shark, I'm a shark, and it's just it's hilarious. It's great. um,
So this character description is also where I'm starting to wonder what the tone and rating of this show. I mean, it's obviously going to be funny, but how are you going to do a character that eviscerates people, but eats everyone around him, and that sounds kind of dark and gory.
yeah.
Um, but I
Uh,
mean, they had the Punisher on that really super young Marvel Avengers kids show, so
yeah.
I'm sure they'll figure it out. How does he breathe? Yeah, I don't know.
King Shark. I don't, yeah.
Does he always have to be moving? And finally, Clayface. We all know Clayface, so let's see what they're
Yeah.
doing with Clayface. Mid-30s, a large humanoid mass of clay. Clayface was a struggling trained actor until a terrible pottery accident turned him into the shape-shifting villain he is now. His aspirations for stardom and his ability to transform his appearance to look like anyone should help him land some roles, but he's such a terrible actor that the only work he can get is with Harley's crew, pretending to be whoever they need him to be with to be help with a heist. What? Pretending to be whoever they need him to be help with a heist. That's an awkward sentence. Um,
Yeah.
he still holds out hope that he'll land one of the many auditions he fruitlessly goes on. That's an interesting twist. That I can change my face to anything, but he sucks as an actor. So the only thing he could. I hope they really play that up. Like
Yeah.
now you need to pretend to be the security guard to get in here, and he nearly botches it because he's just not believable at all.
Yeah. Well,
That
and
that
this is
could
one of
that
those
could
areas
really
where
work.
in in the Batman animated series, the good one, um, Clayface was a renowned actor. He won awards like the equivalent of Oscars and Emmys and stuff, and then he got disfigured and used the putty to fix his face, and he could change his face and stuff, and then he overdosed and became Clayface, and so he retained his great acting ability, but in the Batman, that series, it's actually called The Batman or The Batman, and everybody calls Batman the Batman in the show, and it's really annoying. There was two Clayfaces. One of them was
Pat Hagen's one of them.
yeah, one of them was a cop who got the Joker got a hold of and screwed with his brain, and then sprayed him with some kind of Joker toxin uh, that turned him into Clayface. Like the Joker had some kind of toxin that turned everything into putty, and it vaporized, and the cop breathed it in and became the Clayface. And then later on in the series, a new Clayface showed up, and that one was a kind of a washed out actor. He he was in a couple of commercials growing up, and he kept trying to become an actor, but he really sucked at it, and then he became Clayface, and I don't know. It was just one of those things that yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, this is probably a little closer to that version of Clayface than the original Clayface, but
Oh, hello, Deja Voodoo. Sorry. Just wasn't paying attention to the chat. Matthew says this could be good or god awful and nothing in between. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way too. This sounds like it could be great, or it could
yeah,
just
it
be
could be very
a complete
interesting.
mess.
Yeah, I think it could be an interesting show if they write it right, and yeah, I have no idea what network is picking this up,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
or if it's just going to be a an online thing, but but yeah, it would be very interesting to see at least because DC Warner Brothers has a
Apparently,
very
DC's streaming service, so which
okay.
I don't even know what that is. So,
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. It's just one of those
we'll
millions
probably
of
never
different
get to see
streaming
it.
services that all the studios are trying to do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see because uh, Warner Brothers is very hit and miss in their animated series, especially recently, because they did that Batman and Harley movie, and that was pretty much universally panned.
Mhm.
Nobody liked it because they just did a terrible job with Harley Quinn in that one. Is what the consensus is, and then they did the Killing Joke show and or movie, and that one was universally panned, mostly because of the first third of the movie, which wasn't even part of the original or the source
Well, yeah, I
material.
can't fault them for
And
expanding because The Killing Joke is not that long. I mean, if you just adapted the comic itself, your movie'd probably only be like 35 or 40 minutes.
yeah, but they just added that whole that whole relationship between
Yeah,
Batman and Batgirl that
heard that didn't work
nobody
at all.
yeah, nobody liked that, and it just came across as kind of skeevy and let's see what other movies. Gotham by Gaslight is coming out
Hmm.
or is out. I forget which, and I want to see that one. That one looks
Yeah, it's
interesting.
I like the Elseworld stuff.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching that one. But yeah, I didn't like Killing Joke, and I have yet to watch the Batman and Harley movie. The Adam West movies are pretty good. I thought
I'd
those were
like to
pretty
see those.
entertaining. Yeah, or at least I only saw the one with Two Face. I didn't see the first one they did, but the one with Two Face was pretty entertaining.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. And this, I have no idea how much you care about this, but I like this. Um, the seventh Child's Play movie came out several months ago, Cult of Chucky. And
Yeah,
I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And it
I haven't watched
has,
it yet. I haven't watched any Child's Play movie since the second one. So
oh, well,
yeah,
all of them are canon, so you have to watch them all. Um, but the seventh movie ends in arguably a very unexpected place. Chucky kind of wins at the
yeah.
end of the seventh movie and drives off into the sunset, and you're like, really? Wh- where are they going with this? Um,
Uh,
well, apparently they're going into a television series. Um,
Very interesting.
yeah, and it's not going to be a reboot. It's apparently going to follow the end of Cult of Chucky. And Don Mancini, guy wrote and directed it, says It's going to be dark and disturbing. We plan to use Child's Play in the title. We definitely want to signal that we're going dark, darker than ever before. It's going to be very creepy. I'm like, all right. Is
Okay.
Brad Dourif going to do the voice of Chucky? Yes. Okay. And then we're good. Um, and it also says that this does not preclude an eighth movie. So it'll be interesting to see if the TV series, which apparently is going to be like 8 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
So is this going to be like the Trimmers TV show where they did what, 3 Trimmers movies, and then they did the TV show, and then they did 2 more Trimmers movies, and
4, 5, 6. Yeah, well, there's a third Tremors. Part 6 is coming out pretty soon.
yeah,
Cold Day in Hell, I think they're calling it. I
yeah,
guess
it's
in
an
Alaska.
Arctic, Alaska and outpost
Somewhere where it's
but
cold
yeah.
and there's snow. So Graboids in the snow.
Yeah.
I honestly thought 5 was kind of lame.
Yeah, it wasn't the best one.
Is it Jamie Kennedy in that?
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy.
I didn't care for him.
Yeah, I didn't like his character either, and he's in the 6th one now too.
Yeah, he seems to be an established. He's Burt Gummer's son. I'm like, no, yeah, he should be eaten.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed all the Tremors movies, and I like the TV show too. The TV show I thought was actually pretty damn good. It
was good, yeah. Except the fact
Sci-Fi
that
tried
they
to kill it.
aired everything in the wrong order.
Yeah, they aired I think 3 or 4 episodes out of the 13, and aired them in completely the wrong order, and kept changing what time it aired, so no one could find it or follow what was going on. Oh, nobody likes this show. Bye. It's like, what? But I have the Tremors TV show on DVD back there somewhere, and I've seen them all now, and
yeah,
it's pretty. I mean, it's not the best TV show ever, but if you're a fan of the franchise, definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seekin says, I didn't realize that was Brad Dourif's daughter until the end of the movie when she made a face that looked just like him. Yeah, that's Fiona Dourif, who plays, I don't remember her character's name, but she's in the Curse and Cult of Chucky, and she's really great. And yeah, she looks exactly like her dad. It's kind of creepy in a way. She has a lot of her father in her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't think what that character's name is. Let's see. For right now, the TV show is going to be an 8-part, hour-long series, and it's going to keep the Chucky canon.
Yeah. So I guess the show is going to be each episode is going to be Chucky terrorizing a different person or something along those lines.
I don't know.
Yeah, because you don't wonder exactly how they're going to do this.
Knowing him, Chucky travels back in time, and they do a quantum leap thing, or every episode he's in a different era. One time he's in,
or maybe they do
England, another he's back at the dinosaurs or something.
Or maybe they do a TV series about the killer before he becomes Chucky, like a series about him. Where he learns the magic that moves his soul into another body, and it's like his whole story. That would kind of be pretty entertaining, I would think.
Yeah, but no one wants to see that. We want to see the doll.
True. Maybe they'll so maybe they'll do like the Arrow TV show where it's a modern tale of the doll terrorizing somebody, but they tie it back with flashbacks to when he was a human killer, and so it's a mix of modern day and then flashbacks of years past. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of different ways they could do this, because just 8 episodes of him terrorizing a different person might get kind of boring. I don't know.
Yeah, I would considering how different each movie has been. I have to wonder if the series is, if each episode, each hour-long episode, is going to be as different from each other as the movies have been from each other, or
Yeah.
if just the whole TV series is going to be its own thing separate from the movies, but still uh,
Yeah.
be in canon. Yeah, whatever. I'm really excited for it. Hopefully, it comes to pass because they were doing a Friday the 13th TV series, and that apparently never came to be, which disappoints me because now that's
Yeah.
totally something you can do. A new group of kids goes up to the woods and gets killed every week. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm there.
Yeah. Well, and it, taking a movie and moving into the TV side of things is always, there's always going to be issues there.
Yeah.
Um, and it's kind of, it's just it's one of those things, like, so occasionally you'll have a TV show do a movie and things will do all right, like Firefly. You had the TV series, and then they did the Serenity movie to kind of wrap up the story, and that worked out well, and mostly because they did the movie for the sole purpose of wrapping up the story. But then you have something like X-Files, where they had 8, 9 seasons of the TV series, and then they did a movie that just was total garbage, and nobody liked it because it didn't answer any of the questions that were left open at the end of the series, and just added more questions to it, and without a decent plot to go along with it. And
Segan asks, is Andy Barclay going to be in the show? The kid from the first three movies, or the character from the first three movies. He also showed up at the very, very end of the Curse of Chucky, and he's in a fair amount of Cult of Chucky. Don't know. Chucky is the only character that's been confirmed. Don't know about Tiffany or Glenda or any of the other, or Kyle, who has a small cameo at the end of Cult. Don't know. Don't know. Matthew says, let's be honest, 70s, 80s horror was badly veiled Christian allegories about sinners being punished. A lot of them were, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if you have to prefix that with "let's be honest," because I don't think there's anybody who's like, that's not the thing. Yeah, they were pretty moralizing about that. If you
Cabin in
do
the
bad
Woods,
things like swear or do drugs or have premarital sex and things like that, you get killed. So don't do bad things, you bad,
like,
immoral person.
Scream and Cabin in the Woods pretty much covered that territory, and in the rules of horror movies. But yeah,
your very general spam in a cabin movie is going to be that, though. So there's a new Victor Crowley movie, which is Adam Green, I think his name is, just shot and finished like last fall, and on streaming and coming to disc quickly. And I like the Victor Crowley movies. Hatchet, that's what they're called.
okay,
I
I'm
think
not
this fourth
aware of that series. I don't.
it's basically Kane Hodder got screwed over with the later Friday the 13th movies, so Adam Green made a new Jason Voorhees for him to play, and they're just evil ghost killer out in the woods, kills people. They're pretty great. There was one more movie. Michael Jai White is doing not necessarily a sequel, but a spiritual successor to Black Dynamite. I don't know if you've seen Black Dynamite. But it is
vaguely
glorious.
familiar with it, but I can't.
I love
can't
that
recall
movie.
if I've ever actually seen it.
For those not aware, it's a blaxploitation parody. It's a comedy that presents itself in the trapping of 70s era blaxploitation films, and oh God, it is funny. Michael Jai White is a damn funny actor, and he should be in more things because he's really a talented dude.
He is.
But this new movie looks like it's going to be a Western, which is really interesting.
I only saw the teaser where the guy was lighting the dynamite. I haven't actually seen
Yeah, and
anything
you had
else
the
about it.
bullhorn character doing a
Yeah.
voiceover, doing something. He's back, kind of a rhyme. Um, my guess is kind of the conceit of Black Dynamite was Michael Jai White was playing like kind of a Jim Brown-esque football player who did a movie, and this is that movie. Um, so my guess would be the conceit for the new movie would be Michael Jai White is playing this same actor who had played Black Dynamite and then moved on to this Western. That would be my guess, and I'm fine with it. You know, they did a animated Black Dynamite series, and that's actually really damn funny too. I
Okay.
don't think the second season
I'll
is
have to
on
check
DVD,
that
which
out.
makes me
But,
sad.
yeah.
It's
I'll
on
have
Adult
to see if I
Swim,
can
I
find.
think.
Is it?
You could
Okay.
probably find a few episodes on Adult Swim. A lot of the humor is a bit. I think they stand on their own, but a lot of it is very uh, reliant on knowledge of the movie. A lot of
Yeah.
the jokes are, "Hey, you remember this from the movie," or "This is kind of an inversion of what we did in the film."
Yeah.
Uh, some of it. Anyway, Black Dynamite's good, and so is Michael Jai White. First thing I ever recall ever seeing him in was Spawn in like 1995.
Oh man, that Spawn movie. Yeah, that's campy
It's
and
entertain.
fun.
Is it good? No, but it's actually
No,
pretty
it's
entertaining.
entertaining. Yeah, you gotta watch the director's cut though. But
Have I seen the director's cut? Probably. I have the DVD.
yeah,
So.
but but speaking of, there's still not a whole lot of information about the new Spawn movie that's coming out.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, but apparently, but
that
it's basically
Spawn's
going to
not going to
be.
be in it, and it's going to be dark.
Yeah, it's from the perspective of the cops or something like that, and
Yeah,
Spawn.
Twitch and
Yeah,
Salmon
Spawn's
Twitch.
just kind of in the background,
Right.
you know, behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and you'll
The
see him a
shadow,
couple of
the
times, but
boogeyman.
he won't talk or anything, and
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. I
Yeah.
think
I
Spawn is the type of
the
character that
HBO animated
like
series was
that.
pretty solid. So.
I can't remember if I've seen the animated series or not, but yeah, I try to watch all the superhero movies that I can, but I and TV shows, but I can't. I never get. I haven't gotten around to watching all of them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. But yeah, I wouldn't mind watching the Spawn TV show or cartoon show. But
Yeah, they did 3 seasons and 6 episodes each, so it's not
okay, it's
that
not
that
that
much of
long,
a
huh?
plot.
Okay.
But it is kind of frustrating because they never finished. And
Oh, really? So they left it on a cliffhanger.
yeah, well, it's not so much a cliffhanger; it just kind of stops. There's just no more episodes, but which is a shame. But I guess, yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you still have Netflix? I'm just kind of curious.
I have access to Netflix. Yeah,
Okay. So, did you watch the Cloverfield Paradox?
no,
No. Ah,
nope.
I did, and it's all right. Yeah, it's
I heard it was dumb.
yeah. Well, yeah. There are definitely some.
I didn't see 10 Cloverfield Lane, so
Oh, you haven't seen 10 Clover? That one's actually good. I like that. That was
yeah. Well, apparently it was a movie that they jammed Cloverfield into, so the movie was good in the first place,
well,
and they just
it's the
crowbarred
same thing
Cloverfield.
with the Cloverfield Paradox. It was
Yeah.
a generic sci-fi script, and then who's the Cloverfield guy? I forget. Is it J.J.
Abrams,
Abrams?
yeah.
Yeah, he bought the script and then rewrote parts of it to tie it into the Cloverfield universe, and then Paramount filmed it. They produced it and they filmed it, and then
Dumped it on
just
Netflix.
they well, Netflix bought it for $30 million, so it's they bought the streaming rights, and then Paramount
Netflix is
kept.
kind of becoming the 80s and 90s blockbuster video store. You know, where you go in and you see a bunch of direct to video schlock, and
Yeah,
sometimes you find real gems, but some of it's just schlock
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fun and worth watching
It's fun, and
anyway.
if you've got a Netflix series or a Netflix subscription or access to Netflix, it's good. You just go on there and you pick a random movie and you watch it, and if you don't like it, you can just stop in the middle of it, and it's not like you're out any money or anything. But I watched the Cloverfield Paradox, and yeah, it's not the best movie ever, but it's not as bad as things like Sunshine and The Core and stuff.
Sunshine was okay.
Yeah, Sunshine was okay, but it wasn't as good as something like um golly, now I'm drawing a blank on some of the good movies out there, um but yeah, it was, for what it was, like if you ignored the Cloverfield stuff, like there was hardly anything in there to overtly saying that this is a Cloverfield movie other than the title and then the very end stinger, and that was about it, except for maybe, I guess you could count the conspiracy theorist guy in the beginning, who is in a
So
television interview.
is the
But
tie-in that they dropped the Cloverfield monster from their little space station and it landed on Earth, and that's what we see in the footage in the background in the first movie?
no, what it is that these guys are on a space station with a large hadron collider on it,
Hmm.
and their purpose is to produce an infinite energy source for Earth, because Earth is going through an energy crisis. I guess they
That's a good
ran
way
out
to
of
open up a portal to hell.
yeah, and that's basically what the conspiracy theorist guy was going on about in the television interview at the beginning of the movie, is that they're going to open up a portal to hell, and demons and stuff are going to show up, and they're going to rip holes in the fabric of space and time, and so these guys, they turn on the collider and it malfunctions, and stuff goes wrong, of course, and then they look out the windows and they don't see Earth anywhere, and because they were in orbit around Earth, but now they can't find Earth, and they don't know
Guys,
where they are.
where'd the Earth go?
Yeah, and then there's all kinds of um, all kinds of crazy physics things going on, like where physics doesn't behave like it should, and all kinds of stuff. And overall, it was your basic run of the mill, sci-fi thriller movie, where they've got to figure it out and get back home type thing. Um, and there was some scenes on Earth where the husband of one of the astronaut or one of the scientists on the station, he's on there, and there's like something going on in the world where he's trying to get to some kind of I don't know what he was doing. It was his scenes were kind of
I
just
have no idea what
there.
happened in this movie.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's worth the hour and a half it takes to watch it. It's not, you're not going to come away and regret your time. I don't think, anyways. Apparently, some people regretted their hour and a half that they spent watching the movie, but yeah, it's. I think it's kind of neat just how that film came about, though, because it was a script that nobody wanted, and J.J. Abrams read it and said, "You know what? I could work with this," and then it would turn into a movie that Paramount was just unsure of, and Netflix was like, I think we can work with this, and then they got a movie out, and then they had that surprise release at the end of the
Yeah,
Super Bowl,
yeah.
and that was the
They
big
did an
thing.
advertising. They're like available tonight. And it's, whoa, really?
Yeah,
They're
because
taking a page from game conferences, and you can download it right now. You know that kind of.
yeah, exactly, like the Fallout Shelter mobile game, or
Mhm.
where uh, Ubisoft, is that right? No,
The
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Bethesda. Yeah, they announced Fallout Shelter, and they're like, you can download it right now. And then Google Play went offline, but because everybody was like, oh boy. But yeah, I just think that's kind of neat, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
All right, so that is our show for the evening. I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out and listening to us
Yes.
about the things that interest us. So
Yeah.
let's plug our stuff and get out of here. Andrew Eisen here, Eisen is how you spell the last name. Plug it into YouTube and you'll find my videos. Currently doing a series of Monster Hunter videos called Leslie and Bob Hunt a whatever the name of the monster is. Today was it Legiana? Was Legiana today? Yeah, Legiana's today. Tomorrow is Odoboron or something. A big fleshless dog that makes
Interesting.
kind of bird hooting sounds. It's really neat.
Bird
Um,
hooting sounds.
yeah, it's really cool. It also inflicts a new status ailment called bleeding,
Oh, fun.
which is a real
So like
dangerous one.
cut your
Basically,
jugular
the
and
bleeding status means that if you move or do things that take stamina, like dodge rolling and stuff, your health will go down.
yeah,
Uh, and you either eat some Astera jerky to heal the bleeding, or you crouch and and the ailment will go away after a few seconds. But
yeah,
that is a a very peppy dog. This monster, and it's not something you want to just crouch and hold still next to because it's going to jump. That is one
yeah.
hell of a status ailment. After that, I think is Kieran, the first Elder Dragon. Um, and I'm actually, let me see, and not responding, not respond. Come on, really? You're going to do this? Cry out loud. Um, I've been releasing one video every day, but
Yeah.
now that I'm in high rank, um, once I get to the last two, Diablos and Rathalos, so like maybe four or five more, um, I might not be able to keep up that pace because I might not hit a new monster every day. I don't know how many more new monsters are in the game. There is a new one. I think it's called Beetlejuice or something like that. That I saw. It hasn't. I haven't
Nice.
been assigned to hunt it. I haven't been formally
Yeah.
introduced to it. It's just been stomping around the Rotten Vale, being a pest, and it's really neat. Um,
Well, yeah, you could do a whole new series where it's Leslie and Bob know what they're doing, and yeah, where you actually do the monster fights right.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, some of them I have
Yeah.
to edit a bit. I need to fix the Kieran fight because it's like 40 minutes long.
Oh
And
wow.
part of yeah, basil
Basil
juice or
juice.
something. Yeah, that's how it's spelled, but I have no idea how that's supposed to be pronounced because no one in the game has actually talked about it yet. But I have so tomorrow's Odogaron or however that's pronounced. Then Kieran, Diablos, and Rathalos, and that's all of low rank. Then I move into high rank, and I've been playing the game pretty much all day. And other than seeing Bagel Jazz or whatever its name is, wandering around, I haven't been assigned any new monsters. It's basically
Yeah.
been okay, fight all of the old ones just harder. Um, so
Nice.
yeah, might not be an everyday thing after the next few. Also, follow me on Twitter at Andrew Eisen. So, Zachary, plug away.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at Easy Night, where I talk about video gaming, politics, movies that I've watched, and other things of interest. And you can follow my game development work at DK_gaming and DivineKnightGaming.com, where I'm currently trying to do one game a month. I didn't get January done, so I'm using February to finish that game off, and then just going forward from there. Not looking back, just going forward. And if you're interested in the Oklahoma game development scene, check out OK Game Devs on Twitter and okgamedev.com. And Seekend asks if I've ever been to Ponca City, and I have about 15 years ago. I was visiting someone up there for a day, and that was about it. I don't know anything about the place, but yeah, I've been there. So, but there you go.
All right. You've been watching episode 85 of Molehill Mountain, and we very much appreciate it. So, see y'all next week. Take care. Bye bye.
All right, see ya.